All right, here we go. What's up, family? Yo,
Hello.
what's happening? What's happening? That's right. It's 6:30 Thursday. Time to get a little shopper. What's good? Hope you're having a good week so far. Hope all is well. Continue to press on and make some things happen. So, as we always do, let's go ahead and get it started on the count of three. One, two, three. One, two, three. One more time. One, two, three. All right, all right. Hopefully, you got that deep breath with us. Yeah. So that's sometimes we need that deep breath just to slow down for a second. Let's regroup or re-energize yourself or whatever, you know. So sometimes that deep breath is just that quick second is all you need. So keep pressing, keep going. All right. Good evening, Wenda. Hope all is well with you. Couple things before we get started. I got to put a shameless plug in, but I keep hearing if I don't ask for it, you don't get it. So, hey, don't forget, if somebody that needs some health insurance, please tell them, give me a holler. Okay. All right. Now let's move on. Yeah, that's what I do. So that's what I do. But anyway, also, as I always been telling, and again, thank y'all for supporting the Anti-Negativity Network, the YouTube channel. I appreciate everybody's love and appreciate you just simply supporting what we do. So me and my main Brandon, we finally got a video done. It's posted on there. It's a little lengthy, but it's the first one. And but check it out if you don't mind. It's for especially all of my bowling family. Check out our video. Had a good time doing it. We're going to do some more. But as I told y'all, that the Anti-Negativity Network is not just about what we do here. This is a big portion of it. Big portion of what we do right here on Thursdays is a part of that. But everybody know how I am about the sport of bowling. That's very important to me. And so me and my main Brandon, we hanging out, doing some things. And we're going to do some more videos just to, talk about what it is we love to do, the sport of bowling. So check it out. All right. So we're going to move on to what we want to talk about. And I started talking about it briefly last week. Well, I tried to. I thought about it. It didn't flow like that. But want to talk about relationships, right? We talked about a little bit the other day, and that word has just been resonating in me for all week. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to go today because my mind has been all over the place when it comes to relationships. Because when we talk about relationships, there's so many types of relationships, right? We got short term, long term. We got all different categories of relationship, whether it's on your job, whether it's at home, your kids, your wife, your significant other, friends, close friends, long time friends you just met. Of course, you got a relationship with people that you really don't want to have a relationship with. You got some of those relationships that, is a struggle. There's some, work relationships can be, and, we have strained relationships, all kinds of relationships. But we want to talk about that. And we're going to kind of see how this flow and, just jump in there whenever,
Right. Okay.
as I always tell you every week, just jump in there. But I felt like we need to talk about relationship because a relationship is important. Relationships are important. And even those relationships that seem to be a struggle for us, it's something for us to learn in everything, right? And so it's not always a bad thing because the relationship is not at its best. It's not at that moment in our life. It's just a struggle, right? It's just not fun. It's not good. It's not healthy. I'm not going to tell you that an unhealthy relationship is something that you want to stay in or it's something that's beneficial for a long term. But sometimes those relationships can, again, move you to action. And so, I just think it's worth us discussing relationships. And so The first thing if you have anything, come on, jump on in.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying relationships are not always positive. There are a lot of negative relationships as well. So God gives us the tools to help deal with all types of relationships.
Yeah. So, and I got to thinking about the word relationship, and this is what I came up with. And I try to. Well, let me just say this: relationship. You think about it. If you break the word down, it's two different words, right? Relation. And so when you think about relation, you think about commonality. Things two or more entities having something in common, right? So that's relation, right? And so they can relate to each other. I know they tell you you're not supposed to use the word in the definition, relate, but that's what it comes from, is relate. Relation comes from that's the root word relate, right? And so, there has to be something common between the entities that make it a relation, right? And so then you add the second part of that word, ship. Now, I got to think about the word ship. We immediately think about a big boat, right? A big boat, right? Now, if you think about that big boat, everybody get on that boat. Is everybody going the same direction as on the boat? Absolutely. Everybody's going the same direction. And so I don't think you really want to be on that boat if you on one half and you go in one direction and the people on the boat with you is going a different direction. I don't think there's no longer a ship, right? It's broken up. It's not good. Y'all not going the same direction, right? So to me, I just kind of found it ironic that they put those two words, relationship. That means common. Everybody's trying, or at least supposed to be going the same direction, right? Because we have something in common. We're trying to get to the same destination together, right? And so, when you think about that word relationship, think about the word itself. It's two separate words that came together to make one meaning, relationship. So I think I done broke down the word enough. This is your English class moment for the week.
Yeah. We're all social creatures, and relationships are important. That's how we survive, with relationships with one another. And so, no man is an island. Can't do it by ourselves. Right. It takes a village. And so, we should seek out to have relationships, and not, stay isolated. And relationships, there's so many different dimensions. You can have relationships with elderly people. You can have relationships with youth. You can have relationships with men, women. The most fun time that I ever had is always with my crazy girlfriends. Or you can have relationship with pets. We're going to put our dog to sleep tomorrow. And that's a hard relationship to sever because he's been in our life for 15 years and almost 15 years. But we have a relationship with him. And, he gives us unconditional love. Right. And I brought that up to say that, in your relationships with humans, sometimes that's what you look for. You look for that unconditional love, that agape love, that love that's going to, love you regardless of, who you are or your personality, et cetera. It's just all encompassing love that accepts you just the way that you are.
And I think all of us can relate to that when it comes to relationships and when you find that genuine person, that right, wrong, and different, they still gonna be on your side. Now they might tell you you're wrong, which is good. You don't need those friends that's gonna always tell you you're right when you did wrong, right? But those friends that even if you are wrong, they still gonna rock with you. They still gonna call you. They still gonna check on you. They still got your back. They're gonna, let you know you're wrong, but they still there, right? They still in your corner regardless. And so relationships are so important, right? And I think I what comes to mind, and again, keep us in your prayers because tomorrow is not going to be an easy day for us. Anybody can relate to the fact when you have someone in your life for 14 years Those dogs, cats, any animals, that you've been nurturing and been a part, they become part of the family. That's a relationship that's not easy to sever, right? And so, unfortunately, that's something we're going to have to go through on tomorrow. But, it's a blessing when you have had a dog for almost 15 years. Not a lot of people can say that. And so it's a tough piece for us, but with God, we're going to get through it. And but keep us in your prayers. But as we talk about this thing about relationships, what comes to mind is that we all, I had to go back to the relationship, the ship part of it, right? When it comes to relationships, we all getting on the same boat, right? We're going to get on the same boat. We're not going to get on the same boat if we don't have anything in common. If we're not trying to go in the same direction, why we'll get on the boat together, right? We're not going to get on the boat, right? So y'all work with me. I'm just using the ship part of the relationship. So because we're moving in the same direction, we're going to get on the same boat together. Now, here's the thing. In that relationship, in that ship, we all getting on the boat together. I got bags. She got bags. The next person got bags. Everybody that's been getting on this ship got baggage. Right? We all got baggage. Now, if we all get on this boat and we bring our baggage with us, if we don't figure out which baggage we're going to keep and which ones we're going to throw overboard, that might be a problem. Then to take a step further, whichever bags we going to decide we're going to really keep with us on this boat, because sometimes we bring some baggage to a relationship that is really no good for the relationship, right? We need to throw that overboard. So you got to do open the bags up and really take a look and see what you got. Make sure this is something that you really want to take on this boat with you. Okay? Now, it might be a little hard to let go. Some of that baggage you got might be a little difficult to let go. But you might really want to consider what you're bringing. So then once we figure out exactly what we're going to bring on this boat, because we're all trying to get to the same destination, I would think that's the reason why we're getting on the boat together, right? We're talking about relationships. We on the ship. We figure out exactly what bags we're going to bring. Now we got to balance this boat. Because if all of us on the left side of the boat, that boat will start leaning. And the moment we start sailing with the boat leaning and we go through the storms, because it's coming. The storm coming. The rocky water is coming. The snowstorm coming. The thunderstorm coming. The lightning. The heavy rain. The winds. The other boats around you. The waves. They all coming. They all coming. So if this boat is unbalanced and the storm comes, what you think gonna happen to that boat? What you think gonna happen to the ship? I'm sorry, because we talking about relationship. What you think gonna happen to the ship if we don't balance this baggage? And sometimes too much baggage can also weigh the boat down. So now the boat is even closer to the water, which is going to allow even more water. That's the reason why I said some of the baggage got to go. We got to get rid of some of the baggage because now you're weighing the boat down. Then we're going to take the extra baggage that you decided to bring on the boat. And now we're going to all be on the one side of the boat. I don't think we're going to really get to our destination the way we really want to get to our destination. Right? So this relationship thing, and I guess another reason why I want to talk about relationship is because what I'm on here talking about every week, dreams and goals, right? We're trying to get better. We're trying to do some things. We're trying to make some things happen in our life. We want to live a better than right now life, right? Relationships is going to be important for you to achieve a lot of those things you want. Because if you think you're that good, that you can do it all by yourself, I hate to disappoint you, but chances are you're not going to make it. Now, it starts with you. It starts with you. But you're going to need some help. Okay? You're going to need some help. You're going to need some people to get on that ship with you. Okay? Now, they might not take you, they might not go for all you people that have been on these cruises. They port in one place, then they get back on the boat. You go port at another place, right? So you're going to different destinations, right? Everybody getting on the boat is not going to go to the final destination with you. But some of those folk need to be on the boat with you so that it can help you get to where you need to be to the first spot, right? This is what I'm trying to get you to understand, is that in order for you to get your dreams and goals achieved, you're going to need some folk to help you. You're going to need some folk that's going to get on the boat with you and help you get to that first destination. That's why these relationships are so important. It's so important. Okay. And that's another reason why we want to talk about this. And I guess this is the reason why it's been on my mind so much. And I hope that you're getting something out of this and understanding that, yes, you are all that. It starts with you. The gift, the vision, the dreams, the goals, it starts with you. But your relationships that you build with people, the relationships, the short-term relationships, the long-term relationships are all going to be beneficial for you, providing it's the right relationship. Now, of course, I'm going to have a scripture, right? You all know I'm going to have a scripture, right? So we're going to go to Ephesians chapter 4, and we're going to read verses 2 through 3, okay? And we're going to talk about it, but again, I just want to go, I got to give you a scripture to support what we talk about. So come on, babe, where we at?
Always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other. Make an allowance for each other's fault because of your love. Make every effort to keep yourselves united in the spirit, binding yourselves together with peace. So
basically what we're saying right, and don't lose it, because I might have to refer back to that.
Okay.
But let's go to that last word, peace. Peace. Now, we all had some relationships where it wasn't a whole lot of peace up in that relationship, right? And so hopefully I'm able to do this justice right now, because I got so many things going through my mind. Y'all bear with me. Y'all pray for me. But these relationships is so important, and there's so many different angles we can go at when it comes from relationships. But right there, it says something about peace. Okay. And when you have peace in a relationship, now that doesn't mean that the relationship is perfect. It's something that you both have to strive for, or all entities should want to strive for. Okay. Because we all know a stressful relationship is not fun. And I don't care if it's in your home. I don't care if it's at church. I don't care if it's in the bowling alley. I don't care if it's on your job. I don't care if it's at the club that you hang out, wherever. Family, whatever. If the relationship is draining, if the relationship is not a positive, if there's no peace in it, it's going to be really hard for y'all to stay on that boat together. Thus, the baggage is now on one side of the boat. We're leaning. We got to balance this thing out. So we have to seek peace. And the way it talked about seeking peace is what it said in verse 3, baby, to start off.
It's make every effort to keep yourselves united in the spirit, binding yourselves together with peace.
It's going to take some work. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some grinding. It's going to take some talking. It's going to have somebody going to have to say something. Going to hurt somebody's feelings. You might not like how they said or what they said, but I just can recall. I know we both. Y'all think after 24 years, going on 24 years, it'll be 24 years, August 28th. Y'all think that we've been at peace the whole time? I wish. We wish. But there have been some moments where, no. She done had some moments where she been like, I don't know if I made the right decision here. Right? And as beautiful as she is, I ain't gonna always tell you that I was like, yeah, I made the right decision. There's a few I was man, God dog it, man. Did I? Whoo! Right? But at some point, there had to be some conversation. At some point, there had to be some reasoning. There had to be some tough conversation. And then sometimes you were just like, you know what? Is that a battle even worth fighting? Right? When it comes to relationships, you got to get some understanding. You got to learn. You got to talk. You got to open up. You got to be vulnerable. Okay? And you build trust with that. Right? The trust will allow you to be a little bit more vulnerable. Right? And Okay, I'm not going to be vulnerable on my job. Well, trust me, if you don't think the peace is going to come. Sometimes you're going to have to reason together. Okay. Now, you're not going to handle a relationship on your job the same way you would handle a relationship in your home. At least I would hope not. That's going to be a whole different type of vibe, a whole different way of doing things, right? But at the end of the day, Scripture says what it says. Read what's verse 2 again?
Always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults.
Be patient.
Because
be humble. Humble. See, one of the problems with the relationship is somebody ain't trying to eat that humble pie because you're so busy trying to be right. Where's the humility? And sometimes if you get off your high horse and just humble yourself, you'll realize it's okay for you to not be right all the time. Come on.
Two points that I want to make.
Let me see this.
A lot of times.
That word is talking.
A lot of times, like when I'm, pointing out Ron's faults.
She's good at it too. But anyway.
God always reminds me of my faults. And, he reminds me that, he gave me great grace. When I say great grace, I mean great grace. And so then that's when I humble myself and say, you're right, Lord. Okay. And then, I'm able to deal with Ron's faults because I'm focusing now on mine as well, which are the same faults. But, we always can't see our own. We always see the other person's faults. So.
It's so easy to do that. Yeah, there's another point.
Yeah, the other point that I wanted to make was I like the story of when the disciples were in the upper room together, not in the upper room, but in the Last Supper together with Jesus. And Jesus washed the disciples' feet. And Peter was like, you're not going to wash my feet. He had all this pride and machismo, you're not going to wash my feet. And Jesus is like, if you don't let me wash your feet, then you're not going to be with me. And Peter was like, okay, not only wash my feet, Lord, but wash my head and my hands. So he wanted that relationship with Christ. So he had to humble himself and be vulnerable. And Jesus was teaching them how to be a servant. That's what Jesus is, a servant, right. And so that was just my point about humility and
gentle.
And gentle, yeah. Yes.
Be humble and gentle and be patient with each other. Now, this is an area right there that I'm going to be honest, I'm one of them, struggle. Patience is not my strong suit. It's something that we had to continue to work on. But being patient with each other, like understanding that not all of us are on the same level at the same time. We're not in the same, mental place at the same time. Like tomorrow, what we have to go through, we're not going to be in the same mental place tomorrow that we may be in right now, right? But sometimes you have to, and I think the important thing that we get out of this when it comes to relationship is understanding that when we being patient with each other, understanding that everybody's going through something different, okay? And what might be bothering me today, today might not be my best day, okay? But today you having a great one, right? And then it might flip around tomorrow, right? We have to understand that everybody's not going to always be here every day. Some days we're going to be down here. And so we have to be mindful of that when it comes to relationships, because we might be pushing somebody when you probably really need to pull. Okay. And some days you need to pull when you're trying to push when you need to be pulling. I think I said that right. I got it backwards. Y'all get the point I'm trying to make, is that we just got to, when it comes to these relationships, okay, I don't think I'm really big. We might have to talk about this some more, because I just think this is something that we really need to talk about and understand when it comes to relationships. And because we can talk about the communication part. We ain't really got deep into the communication part of relationships. We haven't talked about the give take part of relationships. Okay, right now we're just talking about being patient with each other and the humility that it takes to make a relationship work. But you want to get some things accomplished, okay? You want to have some things accomplished in your home, because I think we talked about it last week, that the one place on this earth that you should have peace is in your home, okay? And if you don't have the peace in your home, that's where you probably want to start praying, okay? You want to start praying about that, because the one place on this earth that you should have peace should be in your home. And if y'all don't have the peace in your home, it's going to be real struggle for you to be able to deal with relationships outside of your home. But relationships outside of your home can be very beneficial to your home. Now, I'm not going to tell you to bring those relationships home. Don't do that. Okay. But there's things that you can take from it that can help build you up in your home. Okay. And then you work on what's happening in your home. Then you can take that out and help others. It's a give take. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not going to continue to belabor the time and I just said that wrong too. But anyway, my mind is going. I got so many thoughts about this. I'm not going to lie to y'all, but I feel like I just need to go ahead and shut it down for the night. And we might just pick this up some more again next week, because these relationships are huge, guys. These relationships are so beneficial. We can't not go through this life without relationships. They are so important. Okay. Some are going to carry more weight than others. There is no relationship on this earth that's better than this relationship I have with this beautiful woman right here. Right now, Christ, number one. Okay. My relationship with him allows me to be able to even come on here and talk to you guys. Right. My relationship with him allows me to be able to push every day. Okay. It allows me to stay married to her. I'm being honest with you, because without him, this wouldn't work. Okay. Now, it's not that I don't love her, but we also know that she's not perfect. I'm not perfect. He is the centerpiece that keeps us bound together. Right? Relationship. It is so vitally important. And how you handle those relationships are going to make a big difference in how you accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Get the things done that you want to get done. Have the peace that you really want. Relationships, guys. We're probably going to pick this up some more. Hopefully what we said tonight, it helped. You understood what we were saying. Hopefully you got something out of this. But it's something that we felt like we wanted to talk about and start some conversation. If you have any comments, please send them. I'll take a look at them, and maybe we'll talk about it some more next week. But I just know that the relationships are huge, and there's so much that we can unpack when just thinking about relationships and how important they are and why we need them and what they can do for us and what we can do for relationships. All of that, man. There's just so much that can be discussed. So we're probably going to pick this up again next week if the Lord says so. If not, then we'll pick it up some other time when he said talk about it again. But hopefully you got something out of this. But we're going to go ahead and shut down. Anything you got, baby, you want to close out?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like you got something you want to say. I feel like you do, but but I ain't trying.
Relationships are beautiful. They are beautiful.
They are.
They are beautiful, and so we just got to cultivate them.
Yes.
Got to cultivate them, just like anything else.
Yeah.
Got to cultivate them and make them work.
Yeah. All right. I got a feeling we're going to talk about this some more, but in the meantime, look. You continue to do what you're supposed to do. Stay focused. Stay on your grind. Respect your grind. Okay? And if you respect your grind, then there's a big chance that everybody else around you is going to respect what it is you do. So, hey, stay focused. Pray, plan, prepare, proceed. Go make it do what it do. Love you. See you next week, 6:30.
Love you. Take care.